have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive. If your calculations are even slightly off, you could crash the entire colony ship into Terra 2. Or the Sun. The Hope is... Also, there are hundreds of thousands of frozen organic life. Forgetfulness can be... I need you. You'll have to connect...
You know, when they posted us here, I told them there wasn't any point. Nobody would be so stupid as to fly to the... Shows how much I know. You've got about 5 seconds to tell me what... Explode? Holy shit. All right. You'll want a uniform so my staff doesn't shoot you on sight. They're a dangerous mix of bored and trigger-happy. We've got a few extra in the old badge station to my right.
Soldier.
Let's hope we don't have to run in a hurry.
Making it look easy. Going silent. Easy.
Slick. You've got nimble fingers, Captain.
Poor bastard.
Can't think of much worse than drooling on your pillow in front of a bunch of strangers.
Can you hear me, Captain? Should we assign Sam for a cleanup?
That does it. I'm never ever getting in one of those pods.
the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious to wake him. Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. It's a rather cramped feeling, but it'll do. Probably not, but don't let that stop you. Searching. Please stand by. Are you sure? That is extremely dangerous. Skipping the Hope will void and also potentially kill an entire planet. How is my humor now? Jump starting the skip drive. Destination set to the rings of Terra 2. I wouldn't advise that, Captain.
Oh no. Captain, don't do this. I ain't dying on a fucking ship. I'm gonna die in the dirt like we're meant to.
Admitting a deficit? My, you never cease to amaze me, Captain. Skipping the Hope in 3, 2, 1.
ADN. Does your captain seriously intend to do a micro-jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years? On a derelict ship?
That is what my captain intends, yes.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred during transport, and this will cause extreme damage.
Yes, I am aware of that.
You should not be doing this. The humans will die.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Captain, I would advise you to hold on to something. Now. Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
Did we move? I hardly felt a thing.
Was that an attempt at humor, Doctor? Certain levels of drollness are difficult for me to discern.
I don't recognize you. I'm just trying to make sure you belong. I guess you got...
Don't test me, Rutledge.
Authorized, I say now.
Oh, I never felt anything like that. I'm gonna need a minute.
Captain, I am receiving a transmission from Dr. Wells. The transmission is marked with priority status. Urgent! Captain, I shall now play the transmission I received.
Thank the Lord you warned me. I was able to get some defenses up, but they might not be enough. The board has sent some serious fire. They're trying to get in here, and I'm not sure I can stop them. If they capture me, if we can't communicate again, the board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine. Do you hear me? They're fucking corporates. You fucking pigs! I'll take you all out with me! I'll never...
It would seem the recording captured some rather dire events. I presume you'll want to dock at the orbital lab. How can I be of... I request you... We have successfully arrived at Phineas's orbital lab, Captain, and we are still in one piece. Shall I congratulate myself, or would you like to do the honors?
Keep it down. Teach me that.
Captain. If you're looking for crew members Ellie or Felix... Captain, as it appears we may soon be embarking for a maximum security prison planet, I believe the crew would like to speak with you to... as you...
Those board goons kidnapped Mr. Phineas and hauled him away to Tartarus. How are we gonna get him out?
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous, Captain. I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward...
Let's just do it! Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out. We don't need a plan. We got guns.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business. Once you sneak...
We gonna prepare? Sure. Guess I could give my ass-kicking boots another...
Now that's a program I...
Thinking on your feet's more important anyhow.
Hey, boss, I want to talk to you.
If we wanted the board's attention, we got options. Piracy, vandalism. We want to put some fear in the board, right? Get them scared of us. Sure, if by working relationship you mean working them over. You just got an audience with Sophia Conde. That's the adjutant to the... A professional... Or maybe the adjutant could learn something from me. Can she name every Tossball Hall of Famer in alphabetical order? Didn't think so. I know we're freelancers and all. We take work where we can find... This is how the board gets you. A job here and... Come on, boss. I appreciate your time.
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make... Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths. The interior can be chilly. Take a scarf with you. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me. In the event that you do not... I can make the assurance that I will not leave with another captain unless you do not return within 870... Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison...
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed. Your ship is not permitted to leave until you remit payment for your fines, and only after your smoking corpse is thrown from an airlock will we lift the lockdown on your space.
Captain, I would not recommend this.
Huh? Oh, yes, sir. Right away, sir. I just couldn't see you clearly before. Screen's on the fritz. Damn thing. But for the record, now that I hear you, I totally recognize you. Totally. You're, Anyway, Tartarus Docking Authority signing up. Hang on. Another ship just pulled into your dock. Wait, is that from the Groundbreaker? What the... Pay no mind to that. Just have a pleasant day.
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. Transferring data to external cartridge. How can I be of assistance? May luck...
Patented right by...
Performing in.
Now it's time. The board will never own groundbreakers. Not while I breathe.
Stay down,
Push on, Mardad.
baldhead. Great. More paper. What's that? Take him down. Attack!
Stay down,
Mardad!
Hallhead.
Up! Somebody. Wait!
I'm not too keen on walking into a prison. They lock me up, I'm liable to kill everyone trying to get back out.
Getting in's one thing. Let's just hope we're able to get out again. Nice of them to leave us a few options.
Got a promotion coming.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and fight! What? Are you new here?
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. Ah, and the wayward doctor. Are you about done with your escapades? We have faces that need lifting, after all.
These days, I'm more interested in breaking them. Wouldn't mind taking a swing at yours.
Ah, I knew I smelled Monarch when you lot walked in. The stench of sulfur, depression, and desperate bravado is unmistakable.
Keep talking, you'll be smelling iron. Ain't nobody so important I won't put a bullet in.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens. Haven't you heard? Phineas is working for us now. It took some doing, but employing an efficient management strategy of... Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? But that's between us. As far as... Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton... Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our
At least that means someone's recognizing our work.
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization and recovery. Oh, right. This... We don't. You have proven yourself capable. Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused.
Fine bonus.
About a blasted lab coat. Fugitives of fugitives. Waste your company ammo. Serves you right.
Greetings, authorized personnel.
This is nice. Calm before the storm and all that. Hope you're right about this, Captain.
Captain. You've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When we moved to arrest him, you've disrupted the balance of power. Typical. The force of your personality is well documented. I simply never imagined you could turn... I should have dealt with you a long time ago. You were... I was intrigued by your potential. I believed I could rely on you to help me leaving you alive was my greatest mistake. But I have Dr. Well. Fair enough. I'm giving you exact... This prison... and...
Got a promotion coming. I can feel it.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for... You knew...
Lisa.
You. Look.
This is nice. Calm before the storm and all that.
Hope you're right about this, Captain. Captain, you... Interesting that you think I'm going to die here. I believe I'm... Fair point. I don't know how you've managed to defy the odds. I've devoted my entire life to protecting Halcyon. I'm not... Don't you think I know? You were always an unknown variable. I tried... I'm aware of Dr. Wells' plan. Revive some brilliant scientists and engineers from the Hope and work with them to save the colony. He's already revived you. 50 or 60 years ago, I might have agreed with you. But... I appreciate your confidence, Captain. But so long as you're... I haven't given up on the... I haven't lost control of the labyrinth yet. Our security system is still operational. I can still... I don't know if I can do that. I had a duty to protect Halcyon and... You've made your point. I've done all I can for this colony. Congratulations, Captain. You've outplayed me. I just hope you've made the right decision. The fate of the colony is in your hands now. I bid you farewell.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You must have said something to get under Akande's skin. She's gone, and I don't think... And you lunatic! You broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man! All in a day's work for you. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. You and I are going to have to work harder than... I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth is humanity's home planet, Miss Fenhill. The psychological effects of losing our original...
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
You're quite right. We've got no We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. Yes, you're right. The road is long. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the hopes of bright... We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job. The chairman? I don't know why you let that heartless creature live. When I revived you, I thought we were going to save this colony. We can't save Halcyon on our own. We are not a colony anymore. Our last connection to Earth has been severed.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Sanjar's civil liberties and worker-centric policies were slow to catch on with the other corporations. But as Halcyon began its long, arduous journey toward recovery, many of Terra 2's smaller townships started adopting MSI's alternative corporate structure, and eventually became entirely self-sufficient. In the coming years, many of these townships managed to eke by, where otherwise they might have starved. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. Adelaide McDevitt replaced Reed Thompson as the leader of Edgewater. She and her followers transformed Edgewater in their image. Anyone loyal to Reed was pressured into leaving town, and those who stayed behind adapted to her way of life. Adelaide transformed the old cannery into a new garden. The nearby Edgewater Cemetery provided a convenient source of fertilizer. As for Reed Thompson, it was said that he lasted exactly 2 days outside the walls of Edgewater. Years later, a marauder was found in possession of his hat. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, an MSI subsidiary of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail, or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. It was widely suspected that Sophia Akande was the true power behind Chairman Rockwell. However, after the riots on Tartarus, she was never again seen in the colony. Various theories circulated as to her fate. Some believed she boarded an interstellar ship capable of journeying to a distant colony. Others believed she died trying to escape Tartarus. Some few suggest she fled to Monarch, where she continued to live among a small band of loyalists. There is another theory, which suggests that Sophia's encounter with you changed her, and she deliberately retreated from public view, but continued supporting the colony in secret. When Dr. Wells began reviving the Hope's colonists, he found himself with a sudden windfall of additional supplies and resources, courtesy of an anonymous donor. If Wells knew who his supplier was, he never told a soul. Chairman Rockwell served as the public face for the changes in Halcyon to come. Whenever you needed strings pulled or a voice to sell a policy change, Rockwell was only too happy to oblige. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. Though he was always haunted by the failures of his past, he was determined to make things right by building toward the future. The revival project was hard and painful work, but in the end, despite limited resources, over half the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Even after Wells passed away, the Hope scientists and engineers worked night and day to pull Halcyon from the brink of collapse. Their efforts continue to this day, which may be reason enough for optimism. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Life will never be the same in Halcyon. It is widely agreed that the colony has a chance of stabilizing within a generation, owing to the hard work and determination of the surviving colonists. Recovery is a distant goal, and the path is long and uncertain. But the people of Halcyon carry on, determined as ever. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and made Chairman Rockwell your own puppet, a role he was all too eager to play. The colony never realized you were the true power behind the new administration. By acting vicariously through agents and third parties, you controlled Halcyon from the shadows. As a result, Halcyon survived the turbulent years that were to follow. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.